A lot of people have been talking about your camp and how well you've been playing. I mean, have you felt it? You felt like you've kind of taken your game to a new level?
I would say definitely just getting better. New level. That's what I try to do every year. So I had a really good off season training, throwing with the guys again at the local fields here. So just trying to improve my game and have it carry over into a training camp.
Zay, when John says don't sleep on Zay Jones, what does that mean to you?
That's a good question. I think that's a question for him though. Possibly that I'm underrated or whatever that means, or I'm still a weapon that could be used on this offense. I think I bring a lot of value and add a lot of explosiveness and things like that to the offense. But I'm no like big publicized player here or anything like that. So that's probably what he's referring to when he says don't sleep on me.
It's Tashawn Reed from The Athletic. We see you line up at multiple positions out there at receiver. Obviously, it's not as easy as it is in Madden, just
Yeah.
positions. What does it take to actually do that in real life?
It takes a lot of focus, a lot of studying, late nights of going over the playbook and really evaluating each spot and understanding my assignment and my job. Because you're one play away from being at any spot, or at least that's the case for me. So whether it's going behind the Z, the X, the F, whatever it is, being mentally locked in and in tuned to the game and understanding conceptually every route concept that goes into playing this offense.
Questions? Yeah, Zay, why the number change?
Good question. I wore 7 in high school. It was my favorite number, and I wore it in college as well. And then obviously in the NFL, at the time being, we weren't allowed to wear the single-digit number. And so when I got the opportunity, or when the opportunity came to wear the single-digit number, I wanted 7. And 7 is the number of completion, and it's just something that I've always loved and have stuck with. So.
It's a personal connection for yourself.
Yeah, a very personal connection. I love the number 7.
Was there a process getting to number 7? There were like these rumors that you guys had to buy out your other jerseys or that type of thing.
I didn't know. Actually, when they told me that we could wear the single digit number, I thought it was a joke, and so I texted Bob, our equipment guy, and I was like, "Hey, number 7, can I have it?" And he said, "We're working out some stuff right now. I'll let you know." And so I was like, "Okay, I'll pay $1,000 to the man who puts me in number 7." I was kind of joking, but I went into the weight room the next day and I saw Gruden, and I was like, "Coach, can I please wear number 7?" And he was like, "Number 7? That's an ugly number." And I was like, he was like, "No, good receivers wear low-digit numbers." And I was like, "Yes, they do. Freddie Blitnikoff wore 25. Cliff Branch wore 21. So then he was kind of stunned, and he kind of ate his words, and he was like, "Okay, I'll see what I can do." So sure enough, I came into the locker room, and 7 was there available for me.
Zay, obviously the Raiders have a pretty deep group of receivers between yourself and John Brown coming in, and Ruggs and Edwards. What kind of went into your motivation to return here instead of maybe seeking out maybe a less crowded field elsewhere?
I'm a competitor. I knew it would be a competitive room, and I really enjoy this place. I took a risk moving here, buying a home here. That was something that I did after that season that we had in Oakland, and I really wanted to establish myself on this team. And I built a really good rapport with Derek over a long off season in the 2020 COVID season. And it wasn't something that I was quite ready to just give up on or move away from. I really wanted to plant some roots down and really establish myself and become a part of this team and really prove that I belonged here and I could do something helpful for this football team. So that was my mindset. It wasn't about trying to go seek money elsewhere. It really was just wanting to finish something that I started in my journey,
A lot of receivers, they try to find their niche at a specific position, a specific receiver position, whether it be X, Y, or Z. But you personally, it sounds like you're maybe trying to find your niche as kind of a jack of all trades.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think what I pride myself is versatility, the ability to be able to move and to play at any spot, to be able to run the short routes, the intermediate routes, or the deep threat routes, to be able to throw the football when called on or be able to block when called So whatever my role is, it's cliche, but I genuinely mean it when I say I want to be able to do whatever I can to help my football team. So whatever position I need to be in or whatever personnel group they need, I just want to be willing to do it and do it at a high level. That's something that I'm trying to take the next step in, is not just being able to do it, oh, he's good at doing it or he's average, but Zay Jones is great at what he's able to do in a variety of categories.
Zay, the AFC West is known for its speed. How does the Raiders receiving corps stack up in that area?
I think we're up there. We got great, talented guys, respectively to the other teams in our division. We have to go out and prove it, though. It's not just combine, shirts and underwear 40s. This is grown man football. So to be able to put it on film and to run by guys on film and to put up numbers, that's what proves it. But as far as the speed and the potential that we have as a wide receiver core with John Brown, with Henry, Brian, all these guys, Darren, I would include him in there as well. We got the weapons to do it.
Zay, you mentioned establishing yourself here with this team. What has been your transition now living in Las Vegas? How has that been?
I've enjoyed it. Away from the game of football, the city's treated me very well. I've made a lot of good relationships with people here, friendships, local businesses, restaurants, whatever the case is. It's funny because I came to Las Vegas with an expectation and everything was shut down. So it wasn't disappointing. Obviously, it was understandable. But when things got to open up again, you started to get to venture out a little bit more, go to the casinos. I took my family to a variety show. So it was just fun to have that experience with them because Vegas was only things that I had seen on movies or from afar. But to actually be here, to be with a great organization like the Raiders, and to live in such a great, profound city, it's been truly amazing.
Have you developed a favorite Vegas casino while you've been out here?
I feel like I get myself in trouble if I pick one, because then the other, you know what I'm saying? But I have enjoyed Aria. There's a restaurant Catch in there that I really enjoy, that I really like. The Wynn has been really great. I've also been to some of the more local, off the strip, Green Valley Casino, some spots like that. But I'm really just trying to venture all over, just really take it all in, you know?
Zay, you've been one of the first ones to actually establish residency, right near the when the pandemic started. I remember when you got here. Over the course of time and seeing the Golden Knights and the Aces and the NBA Summer League didn't get to play, but they'll be here. Just your perception as the city as a whole on pro sports, and the thought of NBA possibly coming in down the road, Major League Baseball.
Yeah, like I said, after that Oakland season, even with 1 year left on my contract, I told my parents, I was like, I'm moving to Las Vegas. And they're like, are you sure? I was like, yeah, I want to do this. This is something that I feel like I need to do. So found a home, found a real estate agent, bought a home, and immediately tried to start exploring. And then over time, just seeing how great of a city this was and how it's still progressing, how there's still things coming here. The stadium was being built. Things were really expanding. And then being able to go to the Aces game and see those women play. They're talented. They're stupid talented. And I enjoyed it as a fan to be able to watch them, because I kind of forgot what it meant to be a fan again. And unfortunately, I didn't get to go to a Golden Knights game, but I got to see the clips of my teammates going and, I think doing the little siren thing or whatever it was, and just the atmosphere, and then hearing about them winning and seeing fans with the license plates, all have the Raiders and the Knights on it. That was very, very inspiring. Vegas is becoming one of those places where it is a very strong fan base. It's not just a place that people just go party in, but they support their local teams. They support their local businesses. They support each other. And that's what I really want to be a part of, is really calling myself a part of this family. And I truly meant it.
What's your anticipation like when in the locker room as you're 2 weeks in here at training camp and thinking about that stadium after playing in an empty stadium, just hearing echoes of you guys and your opponents, 60+ thousand fans in that stadium.
Last night I was watching the preseason game, and when I saw fans again, I was like, man, that's truly special. They're showing little kids and everyone signing autographs or getting autographs and stuff like that. And then I started thinking, I was like, our stadium's about to be rocking. It's about to be fire. We're about to have a lot of people in there, coming out there with some really great opponents. It's about to get real serious, and it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun to play against these teams in front of our home crowd and have that energy and feeding off them. I truly believe that we would have had our fans last year in some situations. The outcomes possibly could have been different for us at home.
Everyone good? Great, thanks, Ed.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Questions for Foster?
Hey guys, how y'all doing?
Foster, this time a year ago, you're kind of still coming back from the knee injury of 2019. You weren't able to get into the building last year during OTAs and whatnot to stay on top of that with them looking at it. How different is it this year physically and in a lot of other ways compared to this time last year for you?
I think last year I didn't really know where I was percentage-wise, because it's obviously hard coming back from an injury that I've never really dealt with. But obviously, as the season progressed, I definitely felt better week after week after week after week, and there was definitely a point where I said, yeah, you know, I don't think I've ever felt as good as I do right now, and that was probably my 100%, if you know what I'm saying. But yeah, last year was definitely weird. A lot of misinformation and a lot of clouded judgment, and there just wasn't anywhere to go to find a real source of information for how the entire year was going to play out. And that was obviously hard for everyone. But we made the best of it, and it just made us that much more thankful for how we're doing it this year. You know, everything's been clean cut, and we know exactly how to get through it. And if there is another wave of the virus, I think we know how we're going to handle it. And I think that's beneficial for our team.
John Gruden, there was a coaching clinic video that he did, and he talked a lot about you, and he brought up the name Gronkowski and the plans for you along those lines, pretty high praise. But when you hear something like that, do your ears perk up a little bit, and are you feeling, you know, the role maybe expanding and moving in that kind of direction?
Absolutely. Coach has been very honest and forthright about where he wants my role to be on this football team. He wants to give me snaps, and he wants to put me on the field, and he wants me to go produce in the run game primarily, because we are a run-first team. That is the Raiders. That is our identity. We run the ball, and that's where I need to make my niche on this team. But the more I'm out there, obviously, the more opportunities I'll get to make production in stat categories as well. But Coach has been pretty cool about it. My ears do perk up a little bit when he says Gronk, only because I know I'm going to get a $10 fine in the tight end room, which is kind of funny. Just kind of originated back in 2019. It's been a running joke ever since. But
You get fined when that name specifically?
Specifically that name, yeah.
Foster's Tashawn Reed from The Athletic. You know, coming off of last year, obviously, you know, you had your injury recovery, but also with Jason Witten getting added to the tight end room, that made it a little bit more crowded. With him retiring this past offseason, it kind of opens up a larger opportunity in the tight end room. Just knowing that that's there, I'm sure you already, you know, approached the season with a certain focus, but how have you sort of, you know, prepared yourself mentally to go into the season to kind of take advantage of that bigger opportunity that's on the table?
Yeah, Tashawn, that's a really interesting question. I think to call the tight end room crowded last year would probably be the wrong adjective. It was an incredible experience for me to be able to, I mean, how do I say this? Who's the most impactful Mount Rushmore type journalist that you guys have all looked up to at one point? You know, for me, that was always Jason. And then when I found out the news that he was going to come with us, I mean, I was shocked, as probably a lot of guys were. But I was probably shocked in the best of ways. Like, imagine the chance, Tashawn, that you would get spending a year with your idol in the journalism industry. It was an incredible opportunity for me, and I just think I don't think it was crowded at all. Jason he was very open about sharing his experiences in this industry, and he'd done it for 17 years, and he got the most snaps at tight end just beat it with the Broncos game at the end of the year. It was an incredible opportunity and experience. But to get back to your question, I'm sorry for going on a little tangent there. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited. I really love the year that I had in 2019 and the experiences that I had with Waller and DC and all those guys, and it was a lot of fun. And obviously, getting to play behind Darren Waller is just one of the greatest blessings in the world. I wish it for all of you. If you could just spend a week learning behind the guy, or a Sunday to be able to play behind him. I mean, everyone's so centrally focused on him, as they should be, because if they're not, he'll go for 200. And then that just creates pockets of space and opportunities for everyone else. And he's selfless like that, and he knows that. And Coach Gruden stresses it. It's like, if you have a route that you know that it's 50-50 and they might have a cloud corner over the top and you're running a go route, Darren's running it as fast as possible because he knows there's a special seam, there's a deep cross, there's something coming, right? And people are going to key in on him. It's a blessing, and I just love playing with my friends.
Foster, when
Levi gave me
a
a
role
PSA
model.
today. You mentioned
Rock, paper, scissors. Rock, paper, scissors. Rock, paper, scissors.
Do it.
On shoot, rock, paper, scissors, shoot. All right, go.
So you mentioned Waller, of course, being the centerpiece of this offense, and obviously he's been gone the last 3 days. How does your role change with him not on the field? Do you feel an increased responsibility out there?
Great question. I feel like my responsibility doesn't really change at all. We love to preach kind of a next man up, and you have to step up and you have to fill the role. But I heard something really cool the other day. It was people don't rise to the occasion. You know, it's not really a real thing. Heroes aren't really made in the moment. Guys normally fall to the level of their training, especially during a sudden change. So when we don't have our centerpiece out there, everyone else has to fall to the level of the training that they've done over the past 7 months. And so at that point, guys kind of have to step up. And if you need a different leader, that's fine. But you have to take responsibility for yourself to be able to handle a little bit more of a snap share, but also do your job and just try to hone in on the details. You can't have, I need to make a play here. You can't press for plays. You have to let them come, if that makes any sense.
When somebody like Jason Witten, who was an idol of yours, obviously, opens himself up the way he did to you, do you find yourself having to pick and choose moments that you don't want to go to it too much, or was he just, hey, whatever you need, I'm here for you?
So there were definitely times where Whit would kind of sit you down, and it'd be you and him on a whiteboard, just kind of after a meeting, if you had some spare time and he was talking ball and you just kind of sat around and you listened. That was obviously the best way to learn. You know, it's definitely a strange thing to go up to a guy that you're teammates with and just ask him to give you the secrets to the trade, his entire toolbox, right? So as time progressed, you'd get to be with him, and you got to learn from him as the day goes by, kind of by observation in a certain way. And that's a weird thing to say because he's a teammate and a friend, but also he's a titan of the industry. You know, I mean, 17 years is nothing to scoff at. So I think for me, anything he would say, you know, any point he would make, anything he felt the need to interject on was something that you need to jot down. That's a note you need to take. That's something that you need to learn, because obviously he's a Mount Rushmore level talent.
You guys all set? All right. Thank you, Foster.
Thanks, guys.
What's up, everybody?
about a month since, or a little bit longer, I guess, since the announcement. Are you surprised, not surprised at how much your life has changed or little your life has changed in terms of just how it's affected you personally in your life personally? How would you, where would you gauge that?
I was definitely surprised by the big reaction. It was incredible. I thought nobody would care. But it was just such a good feeling to have all the support. I was glad I could do my part to help bring visibility and representation to my community.
Did you talk to your teammates beforehand, or did they get the news along with everybody else?
Very few friends around the league knew. I went to the coaches, made sure that they, I wanted to give them a chance to kind of digest, help me in the process. And then I went home, felt like I wanted to be around family and friends at home to make the announcement.
Ross, Jashawn Reed from The Athletic.
What's up, man?
A big part of your announcement was also the charitable piece, and you also spoke a little bit about, wanting to kind of destigmatize, how, gay athletes across the board are treated or viewed. Why was making it, something that was, bigger than yourself with that charitable piece important to you, and also what do you hope kind of the effect can be for your son?
Yeah, I mean, I've been blessed with so much in my life. I've literally the best life that I could ask for. So I wanted to do my part to help people that are in tougher situations than I am. And it is a lot bigger than I am. And I'm totally cognizant of that. So I'm glad that the Trevor Project got so much love and support through just a 60-second video. So it made me really happy that people jumped on board. Got to give a huge thanks to the NFL, Raiders, everybody who supported them, supported me. It's been great.
One of the narratives that came out of it was the announcement would help probably a lot of people you'll never meet and you'll never know, but because of an NFL player.
Mm-hmm.
Is that still powerful in your mind, and that will happen even though there's probably a ton of people that will have the ability to come out now and you'll never know them, but because of you they will?
I hope. I mean, I won't. Yeah, I hope that I've helped people. That's what you go through life is trying to help people as much as you can. I hope that'd be awesome. I don't know because I don't know those people that you're talking about. You know what I mean? It's kind of hard to people that you don't know. You're helping. So I appreciate it, but hopefully, yeah.
Personal level, I'm sure in your head you're thinking, okay, what is the reaction going to be of my teammates and family members and whatnot? How has that gone? And
it's been great. I knew it was going to be good. I had zero stress about that. Absolutely no worries about it. Got a great locker room, great teammates. I've been met with nothing but love and support. It's been incredible. Yeah. Football players get a bad rap, but we're humble, hardworking, accepting people, and it's really this was a great example of that. Definitely.
Carl, Levi Damon, USA Today. You said it's been great. You had no stress about how your teammates would respond. Has that always been the case? Was there a point in your career where this was a weight on you?
What's your question?
You said that you didn't have any stress about coming out to your teammates because they knew they'd be accepting. Was that always the case, or was there a point in your career where it was a weight on you? Of
all the teammates I've ever had in my career, I don't know. It's hard to look back on that. I knew the guys in this locker room. If I was on a different team, I'm sure that it would be the same reaction. But yeah, I don't know. Sorry, I don't really.
Hey Carl, sure last year was a crazy year, joining a new team. That's another time that you joined a new team. It wasn't your first transition in your career, but with the pandemic and trying to pick up on the scheme and having a late season coaching change and your injury, I'm sure the year didn't probably go how you wanted it to. Going into this year, from a football perspective, what's kind of been your focus with the defensive scheme and having Gus Bradley come in and kind of your role in that scheme? What's been your focus just as an individual player?
Yeah, we definitely got to improve as a unit from last year. We have a lot of excitement on the defensive side of the ball. We got a lot of talent. Got a great room this year. It's been a huge difference for me, and I can speak for some of the guys on D-line, just to be in the same room with each other, as opposed to just like when you're in a Zoom and the coach is talking, you don't talk for 2 hours, and it sucks. But when you're chopping it up in the meeting, and it's a great time, like you're enjoying it, you get to know each other. So that's been a huge bonding experience so far. And I'm really excited for the group. I think that I want to improve my game every single time I get on the field, and we all take that humble approach. It's just getting better. So I'm looking forward to this year and playing with the guys.
Will Ramirez with this.
That's been added. How much more competitive is this year?
We'll get to you, man.
Yeah, a lot of
Sorry, what was your question?
How much more competitive would you say is this year's defensive line than last year?
Great competition. I mean, Max and Jan and Clee and Malk and Gary, they do shit that they do stuff that I can't, I'm trying to copy them, they're trying to copy me. And I sometimes kind of get offended when they take my move, you know what I mean? But then I'm like, all right, I got to take yours now. So it's like competition only makes you better. Complacency really doesn't do anything for you in football or in life. So I love the competition. We're all trying to get out there. We don't want any fall off between any rotation of guys. So it's been great. Thank you.
Go ahead, Willie.
Good, Willie. You all right?
Willie Rivera is with the Associated Press.
What's up?
You used the word agonizing in your statement, and I'm
Yep.
just curious, has this been for you mental health the most clarity, the best coming into training camp in terms of just being able to get out there and get ready for the season?
Yeah, it was definitely stressful. Growing up and being in the closet and doing all that is very stressful for anybody. I can speak from experience, but yeah, it's been a great weight off my shoulders. I've been out to my family and friends for years at this point, so it's been good to not have to lie when I come into work every day, and yeah, it's been good.
Gerald McCoy came in, and
That's my guy.
I noticed that you guys have been
My boy.
already talking and chopping it up. What kind of discussions have you had with him since?
It's great to see him. Guy looks in incredible shape. I owe a lot of my success to him. He was a great mentor to me in Tampa. Freed me up a lot. Guy takes up a lot of attention. He looks great. Really excited to have him here, get him back on the field. He's a great guy, great player too.
He spent a lot of time actually teaching guys. It seemed like today he was coaching as much as he was playing, because obviously it appears he's limited right now in the contact yet. But is that something he will do? I mean, he immediately was that having guys on the side teaching things. How much can that help? Maybe guys who can learn even at this level.
Yeah, he's teaching me stuff every day. He's a legend. He's doing a great job being a mentor to the young guys. He's got the most experience. He's got an incredible resume, and yeah, he's doing a great job.
Let's do 2 more, guys.
Thank you. Or 0 more.
Good.
Great. Thank you very much.
Actually, Carl,
Yes.
sorry, I got one.
You're fine.
So just to kind of piggyback on what Willie was asking you, the stress is gone, the weight is off your shoulders now. Does that, in kind of a strange way or unique way, kind of translate onto the field where you feel like you could just play faster, stronger, be more comfortable out there?
Now, today, yeah. First couple of days, going out, being out and being the only out player, my body felt like jello. You know what I mean? I was very anxious, but now I wanted to get this over with, wanted to move on, wanted to just have a lot of clarity. I feel better today, feel better than I did yesterday and the day before that. So I'm looking forward to the future. But yeah, I appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
Guys, have a good day.